I have Brad Garlinghouse clips. I have David Schwartz clips. I have XRP Alpha in this video. Let's get into this. This is going to be a fantastic video. Stick with me through the whole thing. You're going to learn a lot.
He really kind of introduced this idea of this internet of value and how if for that to exist, you need certain oil in that engine to grease the system so that it can work. And it, XRP, the digital asset that Ripple has kind of standardized on, if you will, extremely fast, extremely low cost, and it could be an interesting use case for that. So again, I think there's going to be lots of cryptos that win. You and I have talked about that before. Yeah. I think there'll be different use cases and different protocols and different technologies that will win. But his vision and kind of what he talked about and bridging the kind of traditional financial world with this next generation, at the time we weren't calling it Web3, it really appealed to me. One last thing I'll say about this that I think is something I thought about. I don't think there's that many times in your life where you get to do something where you really can, to borrow Steve Jobs' expression, put a dent in the universe. There have been a couple of times in my career where I feel like I've had that opportunity, but it's pretty rare, it's pretty unique. And when I thought about what Ripple is trying to do, it's one of these kind of audacious things of like, okay, we're going to enable an internet of value. We're going to build systems to catalyze that future vision. It's definitely one of those things you're like, okay, if we do that, that's going to change the way some of these systems operate. And you're going to feel like, I helped put a dent in the universe. And there's something I find personally gratifying about that it's not in kind of as Elon Musk for him, I think it was about, as you described, like it's important work for the world.
Yeah.
I think if you can unlock an internet of value, it's going to change a lot about how some of these things work.
Remember, basically what you're doing here is you're able to buy an asset, which is XRP, that central banks are going to use to move value from bank to bank and around the planet. You have never had this opportunity in your life to own a piece of technology that central banks are going to use. That is the level of what we're talking about here. Remember guys, to like the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000. We've been growing the channel amazingly thanks to all of your support. This is turning into one of the coolest, fun channels to get your XRP news, and it is an honor to grow and learn with you every single day. So I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. All right, so Ray Fuentes put this out. It says that would make Ripple the world bank. This is actually a cool clip. Check this out.
If you want to be one of those future tycoons, one of those future trillion-dollar companies, you need to be on the XRP ledger.
Ooh. What would that make for the entity Ripple?
Well, that would make Ripple the world bank.
Expand upon that.
When you look at the patterns and history of money to where we are right now, after the petrodollar, after we came off the gold reserve, there's really only one competitor, and that is XRP. I've
actually interviewed this guy at an AMA last year, maybe. Pretty cool guy, CEO of, I think, Reaper Finance. So big shout out to him. All right, here you go. David Schwartz explains what the extent does Ripple benefit from working with HSBC. Pretty cool. Let me play this. 28 seconds.
Of market, something like $10 trillion by 2030, and the increases in tokenization. In the early days of Ripple, another thing I learned talking to banks is that a lot of banks don't care about payments. And they're looking at things like digital asset insurance. They're looking at tokenized commodities like gold. So I think those are tokenized securities. HSBC is extremely interested in those types of projects.
There are things that I cannot share on social media. There is so much information that my team and I go through per day. Only maybe a small handful of a percent actually gets onto Twitter. Our focus is the community in Cryptonaires. We give them all of the information that we are receiving. We have been around for over 3 years. We built our team. Our team is rock solid of researchers, TA people. We have ordinals and runes people. We have people that cover the whole gamut of the crypto space. If you want to take your crypto knowledge to the next level, now is the time. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Well, you have a membership fee, 1 month. If you don't like our community, you can leave. I'm telling you, the people that get in there and really start to learn, those are the people that are making and doing all the successful things right now in crypto, and we are having a blast doing it.
What have we been talking about on this channel, right? Tokenizing stocks, bonds, derivatives, equities, money market funds, real estate, gold, right? You're talking about quadrillions of dollars in value. And only if XRP, Ripple are able to capture just a fraction of that, we are talking about a pretty decent price for XRP, where I think you and I would be extremely happy and better well off, right? That's what we're trying to do here. Change our lives. All right, here's another great clip. This is crazy. Bank after bank after bank. Paul Barron's reaction while he looks at a fraction of Ripple's partnerships. All right, let's play this. 29 seconds.
Here's the list of all Ripple partnerships. You can, of course, see all these different, man, this is crazy. But these are all, there's
crazy.
SBI Holdings right there. Just bank after bank after bank after bank. I mean, there it is, guys. This is probably just what is in, the coffer right now versus the deals that they're probably working today to start to execute this even more. So
we have been understanding this for years on this channel. It's good to see Paul Barron finally catching up to reality, right? It's pretty funny. Okay, cool. Let's move it on. Newm is a member of RippleNet committee. Ripple shows the connection of its homepage, Newm Global. Other current members are Standard Chartered, Santander, Bank of America, spelt that wrong, it's all good though, SCB, which is SCB Thailand, and then MoneyNet Int. All right. And Newm was founded in 2014 in Singapore. Newm is a leading provider of cross-border payment services catering to a diverse clientele, including corporates, fintech companies, and financial service companies. And also its payout network supports 100 currencies, spans over 190 countries, and real-time capabilities in 100 of these markets. This is just one partnership, right? Can you imagine the hundreds, if not thousands of partnerships Ripple actually has and all of those connections? Right? You're talking about billions of customers globally. It's not a small feat here. We're talking about insane numbers. All right, here's Broad Garlinghouse again. This is an older clip, but it speaks to what we're talking about here, about XRP being used as a global asset by central banks, and that is really exciting. Let me play this.
At this is Ripple's really trying to solve that cross-border payments problem. Central bank digital currencies are domestic by nature. They're issued by a central bank or potentially issued by a central bank. So they're not really solving cross-border problems. They're solving domestic solutions more often than not. So look, I think that what we're seeing happen with stablecoins, we're seeing happening with central bank issued digital assets, I think is exciting. I'm not exactly clear how it's all going to play out. You're seeing countries experiment and test. Ripple has partnered with several central banks around the world. Some we've announced, some we haven't yet announced, that they're issuing and testing using the XRP ledger to issue their digital assets on the XRP ledger as a token. So we're excited to be working with them. And look, at our core, Ripple's really good at working with enterprise customers. A government is just a big enterprise customer. We know how to sell to.
That's an interesting notion.
I mean, in some ways, it's just a really big enterprise customer. We're pretty good at that now because we've had a lot of experience with it and worked with some of the largest banks in the world, as well as a lot of the smaller payment companies that have grown very quickly using our technology. It's helped them grow more quickly.
If I had the opportunity to interview Brad Garlinghouse, I would have the biggest smile on my face the whole interview. This girl's like, does she realize who she's talking to? This man is a legend. Brad, if you ever watch my channel and you're listening, please come onto the channel. The fans, the people who watch this channel would love to see you. All right, fair enough. Let's keep going. So this is by ISOGOAT, and they post a lot of really good information, so I appreciate you. So this is talking about DLT network of central banks. You have the Fed, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, BOC. Need some help in the comments on that. Monetary Authority of Singapore, ECB, SNB, right? All of this is connected, right? DLT network of central banks. You have DLT for small value payments, SP2, PSP3, connecting all this, DLT for small value. And let's keep it going here. Interoperability DLT, you need all of these different systems working together, money being able to flow in and out of certain networks. Interoperability is key when we're talking about DLT. Chad Steingraber posted this SBI press release, XRP validator launch. We talked about this in the last video. This is a pretty big deal. By continuing stable operations as a validator and being recognized on the XRP Ledger community for its reliable performance, SBI VC Trade will target to become selected in this list of trusted validators. If you want to pause it and read up on this, please do ahead. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing here. We have David Schwartz on stage at XRP Las Vegas. David Schwartz explains why real-world assets tokenizations is a big deal. We talk about it a lot on this channel. Let me play this.
I'm getting so many press releases on real-world asset tokenization. I'm trying to figure out what the big deal is.
I still think that bridging of TradFi and DeFi is where, at least in the short term, because right now all the value is in TradFi. And so if you're going to say there's trillions of dollars over here, but we're going to do something all the way over here, that's not as good as let's connect these things together.
You got to bridge it all, baby.
Yeah.
You got to bridge it all together, guys. If bridging Web 2 to Web 3, very important, right? That's how you're trying to get all of this money in here. Here we go. Brad Garlinghouse is talking about the market cap of cryptocurrencies after Ripple won the SEC case. He's talking about 2018 when XRP was the #2 crypto in the land, right? And Ethereum was looking up to XRP, and Ripple saying, man, I wish we could be a little bit more like you. Here comes the $15 million from the Ethereum Foundation to pay off an SEC head, and we got the Ripple case, right?
Publicly, I think that the market will be over 5 trillion by the end of this year, which is a double from where we are now. How that applies to Bitcoin versus XRP. I mean, like, people forget, before the SEC got involved and said that ETH is not a security, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset.
Wow, that wasn't that long ago.
That wasn't long ago.
What, 3-4 years?
It was 2018 when Hinman gave his speech. So 6 years, a little less than 6 years ago. Yeah, five years in.
All right. Let's keep going. I have a few more things to show you. Ripple, Reese Merrick discussing Medico, HSBC, tokenized gold, and real estate, right? Let's play this clip.
Ripple acquired a company called Medico, Swiss-based custody solution who are serving, tier 1 banks globally. And the reason why is that a lot of these banks and large FIs are looking at how they can tokenize real-world assets, but essentially don't have the tech behind it or don't have the capability to build or want to build to be able to actually have a custody solution that enables that safety for their customers. So HSBC is one example. Largest bullion provider globally. They are now digitizing gold, and it's just to a subset of their customer base at the moment. But if a player like HSBC is coming into the market, tokenizing gold, as well as real estate and other kind of assets, then, on the front of it, one side they're saying, oh, crypto, this, that, and the other. It's clear that behind the scenes, as I mentioned earlier, they're looking at strategies, looking at the market opportunity, and actually believe that it's not just hype that is happening.
It's not just hype that's happening. Now, understand this, guys. When you have a bank and they are getting into DLT solutions, tokenizing gold, tokenizing real estate, it puts pressure on other banks to do the same, right? Because if you are a bank and you want to stay relevant and you are not adopting the newest technology to tokenize value, to move value at the speed of light for a very low cost, you are going to get left behind by the other banks, okay? And this is really good for adoption of the crypto industry. It's good for liquidity. It's good for us that hold these assets, that truly believe that one day there will be quadrillions of dollars in value that is tokenized and brought onto these ledgers, right? The assets that I feel have the greatest shot at all of this, and there's a lot of assets, but the ones that come to mind here are your XRP, XDC, XLM, HBAR, Quant. Those 5 assets I really feel are going to do an amazing job. I also like Velo. Velo is an asset that I've been holding. I'm already up about 12, 13x on Velo, and I think Velo is going to have an insane bull market. So check out those 6 assets if you're just new getting into the crypto space, or if you've been here a while and you're just catching up on information. These are really the assets that I feel have real world use cases, that have real partnerships, that are going to really grow over the next 5 to 10 years and hopefully make us all a lot of money. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. I've been Crypto Sensei. Aloha.